Welcome back to the Tracy Take. Today, Ryan and I will be breaking down my Atlanta Falcons' last-second field goal victory over the New Orleans Saints, putting them in playoff contention. And it's the number 7 seed overall right now, which I can't believe I'm actually saying that. But before we get into that, make sure that you subscribe to this channel if you have not already. Hit that notification bell so you can see when we create new content. Like this video, comment on this video, and let us know your thoughts. And Ryan, let's talk about
Let's
my
do it.
playoff team. Let's do it. I can't believe I'm actually saying that. Like
Yeah.
going into this season, I'm like, this schedule is
Well,
so easy, but we shouldn't. Like, I still don't think that we just have the talent. I still don't think we have the talent. I don't think we'll make the playoffs. But right now, as of today,
I
we are
was
the 7th overall seed.
I was watching an ESPN show. I forget which one it was. I think it was the one with Nick Wright. I don't remember the name of that one. But they got in an argument about the Patriots, and they were saying that like even though some teams don't make the playoffs, they're still playoff caliber, right? Like they could have been there, like Miami last year. They were 10-7. They were good enough
Mm-hmm.
to make the playoffs. There were just a few things didn't fall their way, and they didn't, right? And I think right
Yeah.
now in the NFC, the exact opposite is happening. They have 7 spots to fill, and it doesn't seem like anybody actually wants to take it. So a team that is
Yeah.
not playoff worthy is going to get in, and that's kind
Yeah.
of not to trash the Falcons. I just
Go
don't
ahead.
think that they're very good, and yet they're somehow 4-4 in the 7th seed in the playoffs. So
Well, they're 4-4, and they should be uh, at least 5-3 that I can, and at minimum, they blew another lead against Washington earlier in the year.
yeah,
And honestly, I think they should have beat the Panthers last week. The Panthers aren't good either. But that's I was thinking about that after they won, and Young Hoku kicked another game-winning field goal, his third of the year. And I'm even thinking like,
mm,
I'm thinking the same thing. Like if a team makes the playoff, I think that they are good enough to win the Super Bowl or to win the championship. Things have to go their way,
or to make
obviously.
a run.
Some teams are obviously more talented, or they can make a run. I can't imagine the
Yeah,
Falcons I can't imagine the Falcons actually like making it past the first round. Like no matter who they play, like if you look at the teams that they've
no.
beaten, the quality teams, they beat a Trevor Siemian Saints team that has a winning record. Other than that, they beat a New York Giants team, which I think is a little underrated. I think there's some serious flaws, but then they beat the Jets and then Miami, like 3 of the worst teams of
Mhm.
in the league, and they don't have too many quality wins. And even when I say they should have beat Washington, they should have beat Carolina. Washington's definitely not going to make the playoffs, and the Panthers are on the way to not make the playoffs because as they have been playing atrociously over the past 6 weeks. But still, somehow the
Yeah,
Falcons, they're finding a way to win, which is a great culture shift. I would say
yeah,
that I like to see personally. But yeah, when you look at the game, and this, I think sums up to me when, especially in the offseason, when people say that we need to get rid of Matt Ryan. It's like Matt Ryan's not the issue. Matt Ryan's never.
hmm
He's had his down moments, but Matt Ryan's never really been the issue. The issue has been our defense gives up fourth quarter leads, and like I'm looking at now, we give up 22 points in the fourth quarter. Some of that does have to go with the offense for not getting first downs and not moving the ball. But the offense still gets to a
yeah.
point where we score 24 points and we have an 18-point lead. It's never Matt Ryan's never been the issue. He had a hell of a game today. He's been having good games, and I think he's been playing.
hmm
He's been one of the better quarterbacks in the league. Not the best, but one of the better ones.
Yeah.
And it's like, why
Well,
can't we hang on to these 18-point leads and not give everyone heart attacks or potentially risk like
I have,
blowing the game again? Not like we haven't done that before.
yeah. You guys don't have the run game to close out games.
I agree, and
So what?
that has been our bugaboo over the past couple of years. Has been our offensive line
Yeah,
has been weak. I think our offense. Arthur Smith is a great
yeah.
offensive minded coach and gets the ball out of the hands early for Matt Ryan, especially in the beginning of the game.
hmm
Give him get the weapons out in space on these short passes. But then you're right when it comes to like we need to run the ball and take off 5 minutes off the clock. And then when the defense knows that,
You can't do
it's
it.
hard for us to move the ball.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's so like
Mhm.
as a Patriots fan, that like power run football is something that I've watched for 23 years. Uh, I mean,
Mhm.
last week against the Chargers, not to just change the subject to the Patriots, but Patriots are up
No, you're good. Go ahead.
24-17. 8 minutes left. Patriots
Mm-hmm.
took the ball 6.5 minutes down the field, kicked a field goal, made it 27-17. There was a minute and 45 seconds left by the time the Chargers touched the ball again. And that's what the
Yeah.
Falcons don't have, is that ability to just say, we're going to run the ball,
Yeah.
try and stop us. And I was
Yeah.
hoping y'all's new head coach would be able to solve that. It doesn't seem like it's quite there yet, and then the fourth quarter defense has also been a struggle. But with all that being said, you guys are still 500 and in the playoff race. So
yeah,
I still think there's
yeah.
something to
All
hang
that
your
being
hat on.
said, oh, I'm not disappointed. It's just kind of one of those. It's nice to see us turn it around a little bit and not have these blown games in the fourth quarter again. But I think kind of going off what you said there with, I think Arthur Smith, it's his first year with something like that, as what you were talking about that the Patriots did last week. That to me, I think is a personnel thing, and getting some kegs on the offensive line that will just move people. And it doesn't matter who the running back is. Like Mike Davis, like Cordell Patterson's having like one of his best years, I think. But he can be a running back, but he's that gadget guy. Oh yeah, he's that gadget guy where we can hit screens to him. He can do these 5 yards routes. He can do what's it called? Just a straight line. Shit, I'm blanking on
route.
It. A go route. Yeah, he can do a go route and catch the ball 40 yards down the field and put us in field goal position, just like how he did today. But when it comes to that portion of the game, we don't have the offensive line personnel, I think, where we can just move these defensive lines. We struggled against that against Miami, and if I'm not mistaken, I think Miami have the worst. They have the worst passing offense. They have an okay run offense, but defense. My apologies, but yeah, we just don't have that in our arsenal. And I think that's a great point, and one of the things we need to kind of build towards. Maybe sign some people in the offseason once we get some cap space. But so we talked a lot about that. But I think one of the biggest things, though, I kind of want to talk about with this to wrap up on is the playoff picture. Like the Falcons should not be a playoff team, and they are 7th right now in the playoff team. And if you look at the teams below them, Carolina Panthers 4-5. Don't see that getting any better anytime soon. The Vikings, another heartbreaking loss, 3-5. Seattle's 3-5. 49ers 3-5. Bears 3-5. They play the Steelers tomorrow night. Maybe they can win that one, but I mean, you're looking at it, and it's like it really is kind of the Falcons lose because they don't have the most difficult of schedule games. That they can finish 9-8 and make the playoffs. Because if I'm just looking at the teams beneath them, and it's not looking good for those teams.
No. Well, I think if the Falcons finish above 500, they'll have a really good chance to make the playoffs. The thing is, I think the Saints are going to fall off a little bit. I just don't think Trevor Siemian is going to be an answer for them, and I just think losing Jameis was really big. But with that being said, the passing game wasn't their main threat on offense anyways. To me, though, the team that I see that is probably the biggest threat is the San Francisco 49ers. And I know that they're 3-5, but I look at them and they're the one team that sticks out to me that just has not played up to their potential. Yeah. And they kind of have an easier second half of the season. They have to play LA next week. But after that, they play the Jaguars, Vikings, Seahawks, Bengals, Falcons, Titans, Texans, and then they have to play the Rams again. And so I think that that is probably the team that has the clearest path to that wild card, besides the Falcons, who, frankly, I think are in a fairly decent situation. It's
going to be interesting to see, and it's as we're going to be talking a lot about the AFC and how this is a great team and they might not make the playoffs. And we're going to say that about a lot of teams. We're going to be saying the exact opposite for the NFC. It's really going to be who makes the least amount of mistakes down the road because none of these teams really are worthy, honestly, of make the playoffs, in my opinion.
No.
So,
Yeah. But I think that's going to do it for this episode, unless you have anything else to add.
no, go Falcons.
Hey, we got a big Thursday night, not this week, but next week. So
We got a big one. That'll be a big one.
yeah, Patriots
I'm
and
looking
Falcons.
forward to that one.
I'll be there.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah.
but yeah, anyways, I think that's going to do it for this episode of the Tracy Take. If you guys have not already, please go ahead and like and subscribe and leave a comment down below on if you think the Atlanta Falcons are going to make the playoffs in 2021. And we will see you guys next time.